What? Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome.
Yo, what is going on? Welcome back to Best Ball Breakdown. July 17th, we have absolutely nothing to talk about today, Ryan. No news. There has been absolutely nothing going on in the NFL streets in the last couple hours. Obviously joking, of course. We've had a flurry of news this morning. Big changes to the best ball rankings. I was just pushing out some updates just a few minutes ago. So they are live on the site for right now. Ryan, what's going on, man? We got Najee Rice news. We got Jordan Addison news. At least we have some a little bit of clarity as training camps start to fire up here.
Yeah, you're right. It's probably like a week or so earlier than we're used to the flurry of NFL news kind of starting. But yeah, it's getting a little insane today. But yeah, Rice, Addison, both likely taking plea deals. I think with Rice, it was a little unclear with the reporting, but either way, suspensions looking likely for both of them. We can talk about like our expectations for those. I think we were saying before the show that my guess is kind of 4 to 6 for Rice, 2 to 3 for Addison. In Addison's case, that was kind of expected. Rice was a bit of a surprise, and he's definitely going to be adjusting the ranks here, as we'll talk about. But yeah, it's it feels like August already.
Yeah, it does. It does. Busy afternoon. That's right, Michael. Index suspicion says, I will never financially recover from today's news. Yeah, I actually don't have a ton of Rice at the new price. I do have a good amount of Addison. Ryan and I were talking about this last week. I've been thinking Addison's suspension is like 90, maybe 80 to 90% priced in. He's going to slide back a little bit. He's the easier one to talk through, Ryan. We'll talk about him first. I think it's pretty clear. Like he took the plea to try and get his charges knocked down. Didn't actually go to trial, so he's not charged with a DUI. It's basically like a reckless driving charge. I'm gonna imagine like 2 to 3 games. We've already docked him 2 games in the projections. So 2 games for Addison nets him out around like 68 to 70 in our rankings, which I think makes a ton of sense. We'll probably end up being a little higher on ADP than Addison. I know you've been big on Addison. We've kind of been projecting this. 65, 70 for him feels about right now.
Yeah, I agree. I'll probably end up even a little bit higher. I still don't really have a problem, even with the suspension, taking him kind of roughly where he was going. Just those first 2 or 3 games of the season just matter the least for fantasy, whether we're talking Best Ball Mania, whether we're talking managed leagues. It's before all the buys kick in. It's easier to fill in that production. It's especially even in best ball, even in managed leagues, easy to kind of draft around these guys that aren't playing the first few games of the season. You can definitely load up with earlier production, and then it doesn't matter once the playoffs hit. So yeah, I have thought Addison was too cheap all summer, and I'll continue to.
Yeah, the spiked week production in best ball just really matters, and Addison has had one of the highest ceilings in fantasy football among receivers. I'm with you. I think he's still a really good bet. And I'm going to be drafting even more of him. The Najee Rice thing is I'll be honest, it's truly wide open. So the original reporting we got like a couple weeks ago from Chiefs Beats, one of the Kansas City news outlets, is that he had a trial set for January, which made it seem like, hey, he might not be suspended at all for this 2025 season. And then we get the news dump today that no, he is avoiding the trial. He's avoiding everything. He's actually going to go ahead and take the plea. He's pled guilty to 2 third-degree felony charges. He's also paying out a bunch of money to the victims of the incident that he caused along with his buddy. The bottom line is, like, the NFL, Ryan, trying to predict, like, what they're going to do with their suspensions has been like a fruitless process, basically, for the entirety of the time I've been covering the NFL. It really does truly feel like wide range of outcomes with Rice. We have docked him 3 games in our projections. He's come out at 38, behind Xavier Worthy, just by a few slots. Again, this is best ball, strictly talking best ball, like where back half of the season production, ceiling matters way more. In season long, this is going to be a very wide range of outcomes, wide range of opinions on Rice. Right now, so 3 games, that's what we're projecting. It could obviously be upwards of 6 to 8. Where are you at on Rice now? We were drafting him pretty confidently around the 2-3 turn, 21, 22. What are you doing here?
Yeah, so I guess we'll start with like the suspension. So my if I had to just pick one number, my guess is 4 games. Kind of how I get to that is you're right. The NFL has never been consistent on handing out suspensions. Like trying to guess that is kind of a fool's errand. To me, the one like consistency that I kind of feel and observe just from being an NFL fan for the last decade-ish or whatever is they will hand out larger suspensions if there is a larger public outcry is unfortunately how it seems to work. In Rice's case, yes, there's like a video of him fleeing the scene as we were talking about. Did it go like mega viral? Did it cause like a huge controversy for the NFL? Not necessarily, certainly not compared to some of these other cases we've seen where they've handed out longer suspensions for like the sexual misconduct stuff. So yeah, to me, like 4 or 6 games is kind of what I'd expect. But yeah, and just in terms of the fantasy take, Rice is still the same player on a per game basis. The upside is still extremely high, like worthy of going in round 2 if none of this had happened. So I'm still going to view him that way, really. It's a little trickier. The only like complicating factor is if it is a lengthier suspension, especially, it creates more of a window of opportunity for Xavier Worthy to break out, for the Chiefs offense to kind of move on without Rice, for the plan to sort of change. I'm not that high on Worthy, the player, so that's of less concern to me than it might be to others. But I do think that's one thing worth thinking about, at least, that I think Rice will ultimately probably go cheap enough that I won't care about that, but it is something you've got to consider as well, even if you are kind of on my side in terms of believing in Rice and the upside and him as a player on the field.
Yeah, I hear you. I just think that these 2 guys are 2 totally different receivers. Like the Rice offense is just, I mean, he's their zone beater. He gets a lot of the design screen stuff. And Xavier Worthy like came on for sure to start, to end last season, and he definitely became a more nuanced route runner. But he's still not Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice to me is like almost like a Deebo Samuel clone, where he's just so good on these crossers, these yak type plays. So I hear you that Worthy like definitely could gain the confidence of Mahomes earlier and have a bigger role than we anticipated. That's a good point, but we're still talking about 2 players with 2 totally different skill sets. Do you want to take a guess on where Rice's ADP ends up? Right now he's going at 22, 21. I'm going to guess he goes 45 to 50 until we get the news. And it seems like the NFL will probably quickly turn around on the suspension here.
Yeah, I mean, before we became under the impression that he would not be suspended this year, that was around where he was going, was like the 4 or 5 turn, late 4th, or around pick 45 to 48, if I'm remembering correctly. So yep, that I would kind of expect him to go back around there, or possibly even a little bit lower. But yeah, I'll be very interested to see if that is the new price. I will click him there for sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. 4th round will be about right. And maybe even the 4-5 turn, like around Devonta Smith and JMO. I think that might be it. Bendels, what's up? Good morning. He said, loved your Anatomy of League winner article, Ryan. That was, and it's probably the best article we've posted all year. It was terrific. If you have not read Ryan's article, you're seriously doing yourself a disservice. Bendels is a huge fan.
Thank you guys. It was super fun to write, and I did just have to throw in a little Rashee Rice update into that article. So I appreciate the shout.
Yeah, Rice is certainly a league winner type, but yeah, that is a type of article where you read, you get halfway through, you kind of bookmark it, pin it, and come back to it multiple times. Seriously, great work by Ryan. Michael saying he just got Rice as his wide receiver 3. Are you saying that the 10-11 in a Superflex draft? Is that what you're just saying? Or you're saying that you kind of confused by your question?
Yeah, I can't quite parse the 10,
you
11
want to
here either,
rewrite
but
that one?
yeah.
We'll hit
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I do think you guys will talk about it on Dynasty Points, I'm sure, next week, where Rice's value equation comes out in Dynasty. This is probably the day to buy, though, if you've been a Rashee Rice believer. 10-team, 11 start. Interesting. Oh, you start 11 players, I see. Nice. Yeah. So you're saying you're buying Rice as your 3. I'm with you. Yeah, this is a great time to buy some Rashee Rice. Get in on the fear, uncertainty, doubt of the suspension. It could certainly be 6 to 8 games, which would not be fun. It's for redraft leagues, but for Dynasty, like, who cares? You just back weight it. Getting your production late in the season, especially for contending teams, it would make sense to buy some Rice. All right, man, we are going to be drafting 10th here in this Best Ball Mania, trying to take down $2 million prize. There are some nice regular season prizes to Best Ball Mania this season as well. $100,000 up top to the top scoring team. So we're going to be trying to do that. If you have not signed up for Underdog yet this season, we are running a pretty sick promo code with them. You can use code FANTASYPTS, get yourself a $5 standard subscription. That's going to include Ryan's Anatomy of a League Winner article. It's going to include all of the Underdog Best Ball ranking updates that we're going to do from now until basically kickoff in September. It includes all the updates that we just pushed through today. You can upload those into the rankings applet and draft straight from there. Again, code FANTASYPTS. Get yourself a deposit bonus plus a $5 subscription at Underdog. Ryan, I love picking from 10. This has like been my spot this year. There's just like so much optionality between the receivers that we like, Nico, BTJ, Ashton Jainty's been pushed back into this pocket, which is really nice too. That's just a lot of fun. I know you and I are both super bullish on Devon Achane. Where are you at on Achane versus Derrick Henry? I think that's become a real debate for me. I've got Achane over Henry right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on HN. Just like, I guess, spoiler for Anatomy of a League Winner. I in Managed Redraft, I have HN as my 7th overall player. So I'm just making the bet on HN this year. With Jonnu Smith gone, opens up a lot more design targets. If the Dolphins fix their offensive line and it becomes like an efficient offense again, and they kind of are earning the single high looks again, and it goes back to being the league's most valuable backfield like in 2023, that's a win. He wins either way. I'm good with either of those receivers here.
Yeah. I feel like we haven't taken much neighbors on this stream. We'll take a little neighbors here. Yeah, Achane with no Jonnu is just like, I mean, the design targets have already been great with him, but I mean, just the ceiling is just ridiculous. It's really just comes down to, like you've been saying, Tua staying healthy. We will get one of Achane or Henry right here. I prefer Achane. I know you do too. Nice. Yeah, we'll take Achane.
There we go.
Nice.
I did get my first. I have started getting my Brock Bowers shares. I have gotten some Bowers at 22 overall.
Okay.
The last week or so.
Yeah, that price has started to come down. I think you and I have been kind of leading this wagon a little bit. That man, it's just really hard to take Bowers over Achane. Hard to take him over Henry. He went 14 here. I'm with you. I think 24, 25 is where I would start considering him. I'm super bullish. I know you're not as bullish on Jonathan Taylor as I am, but I think the second round is just a clear RB round this year between Achane, Henry, JT. All these guys I think are going to become more expensive to draft as best ball season goes on, especially during August. I think Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, maybe even Bucky Irving a little bit. Those guys are going to get more expensive. The one guy who slid pretty far, and I think Theo Grimminger has been making this point on every show I've been with him on, is like Ashton Jainty is now priced as Najee Harris rookie season, where he should be priced as the Zeke rookie season. And that's just right. Like, that's just absolutely the right take. Like, yeah, sure, Raiders, I don't know. I'm still not like super crazy about this Raiders offense that is like has a bottom 8 team projection in terms of the implied team totals, but J&T is as good, if not better, of a prospect than Zeke and Saquon Barkley, and now you can take him at 11-12. It is really nice, and that's the one thing that keeps me off of Bowers is like I just think this is going to be more of a run focused offense. You've been making some great points about early round tight ends. I just dropped my Underdog article this past week. And spoiler alert, like early round tight end outside of the one Kelsey season in 22 has just been terrible. Basically, like you take a tight end in the first 4 rounds, your advance rate is 15%, lower vis-a-vis taking a tight end at any point in round 5 or later. It's really tough in best ball to make up that opportunity cost, like you and I were talking about a couple weeks ago, especially at receiver. But Bowers at 22 to 25 is kind of nice, not gonna lie.
Yeah. No, incredible article, by the way. I was able to finally catch up on that this week after Anatomy published. I suddenly was able to actually read other content again.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Everything you were talking about, especially with the receivers opportunity cost early, was, just very eye-opening and further supported everything you're saying. So, everyone should go check that article out, too, if you're locking in your Fantasy Point subscription right now.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. I always love doing that piece. What do you want to do here? Real quick, we got
QB, I think.
QB? You want to take Lamar?
We can take Lamar, yeah.
Let's do Lamar. All right.
Lamar or Jaden, I think are.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing in the pocket too.
Turn.
Like Allen, anytime it kind of dies here and Adams doesn't get back to me. Breece Hall went earlier here too. He went at 29. This is where I kind of turn the page to the quarterbacks here too. Is Lamar, Allen. They just feel like such a high floor here.
Yeah, although I guess I will say we kind of get boxed into like, Hampton went anyway. Yeah, we kind of get boxed into like Evans or we can click Rice here, but I don't think
JSN.
I don't know that we'd have to.
I prefer
JSN. Yeah, sure.
I prefer
JSN.
Right. Yeah,
not used to him falling to this turn, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I like. We have Evans and JSN like back to back in the rankings, but it is pretty close. I mean, JSN. Obviously doesn't have the age concerns that Evans does, even though, dude, Evans was still number 1 by ass last year. Just so crazy, like still getting it done. He's going to be 32. Obviously got to bake in a little bit of fall off. All right. So Worthy goes 40 here. I'm going to be Rice still went 21. Wow.
Oh, I totally missed Rice. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at him in the ADP set for a second. I was like, he's not there. And I was wondering where he went. Yeah, he still went 21. So maybe this person hasn't seen the news today. But
yeah, I'm gonna go with the DCH3 has not opened Twitter today. I'm gonna assume.
Yeah, I would assume that too. Worthy goes 40. I think that's about where he should go, is around this pocket. I'm a little more bullish on his talent than you are, and maybe some other people are on the site. I do think, like I saw the maturation, like I was saying, in terms of his, just ability to run actual NFL routes to close out last season. Certainly wasn't the case to start last season, but like I said to start the show, definitely enough differentiation between their skill sets. I think Worthy going here makes a ton of sense. Jerome was saying in the comments that he's read your anatomy article 5 times already. So he's read 100,000 words. That about right?
Yeah, that's a lot of reading there, man. That's quite a lot of time you're spending.
Yeah, that's like if you read it 5 times legitimately, that's like what, 2/3 of the way through a Harry Potter book, probably. I mean, Harry Potter books are like 180,000 words, I bet. So yeah, it is worth reading that many times, though. I'm very interested to see where Addison goes here. He might go to us, honestly, at 63. So this will probably be like a hero running back build. I wanted to talk about this player with you.
Yes, we should. And if he makes it to us, we should take him.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, if pick a wide receiver if I'm in the middle of talking, but
I'm not.
We could go Zay on a Lamar team. I know you're anti-Zay and anti like Ravens pass rate stuff, but I think he's fine with Lamar here. I would take Hunter though over him.
Oh yeah. Hunter has way more upside here. Let's see if we get him. This
So
is where
here's
this is where he's sliding towards, man. His ADP is going to be 58. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. So here's my thing with Travis Hunter is, yes, it is possible that he is around like a 50% route participation rate. If we're just thinking strictly, is he able to play more than 100% combined snaps? The team wants to play him both ways. If it's 50-50, that doesn't sound great, obviously. Most receivers that are at a 50% route share are not fantasy relevant. But we are talking about a Liam Cohn offense where if you just look at Chris Godwin's slot routes only last year, he had a 53% route share just on his slot routes. On just those routes, Godwin averaged, it was 12 underdog fantasy points per game, which is like if Hunter hits that, if all Hunter does is like he plays as the third receiver, comes on in the slot, and it is a high TPRR guy, then he's meeting or exceeding this ADP. And that's before you get into the arguments of, well, is Travis Hunter an elite wide receiver talent that went second overall in the NFL draft, had one of the best adjusted yards per out runs that we've ever seen for a college prospect, and all of the like insane Travis Hunter stats that I'm going to go pull out of Scott Barrett's article from April to argue with him later. So that all of that is like the upside. And you bring in, well, Liam Cohn, first time head coach, is being judged primarily on how his offense performs, has always been an 11 personnel guy, comes from the McVay tree, has always been an 11 personnel guy. The other receivers on this team are Diami Brown, and then you get into Parker Washington and Trenton Irwin. I don't think Liam Cohn wants those guys running significant routes. It just kind of is the case that Hunter needs to play like a 50% route share at minimum for this offense to work how I'm assuming Cohn wants it to, without having these total jag guys on the field. So like, could Hunter just get hurt? Could it just not end up being possible for him to play both ways? Sure. But honestly, if that is the case, if he has to choose, I kind of think that Cohn is going to make him pick offense.
He's just this has been my base take the whole time. He's just way more valuable on offense. If he's really good at being an NFL wide receiver from week 1, week 2 on, he's going to be playing receiver. Like the Jags have terrible cornerbacks. Like the secondary is not good, but you can play him in high leverage situations in the red zone on third downs. There's also this like other aspect here that he's a unicorn, like truly a unicorn. Like every one of his teammates at Colorado is like, yeah, I don't get it. Like Travis doesn't get tired. James Gladstone, their GM's like, yeah, Travis doesn't get tired. And Travis Hunter himself is like, nah, I don't really get tired. And like, yeah, it's the NFL. Receivers are bigger, faster, stronger. I still think we're talking about a truly like one-of-one unicorn type player. And like you were mentioning, just from a logic perspective, like we're really concerned about Diami Brown playing. Like, come on, Diami Brown, the guy who like he did get a pretty decent contract. He got $10 million guaranteed on a 1-year deal, but I mean, he's going to play, but he's just a field stretcher. I think we all kind of know what he is at this point. You know, it'd be pretty wild to see him break out in the 5th year after what he's done at this point in his NFL career. And just projection wise, like we're projecting a 75% route share for Hunter. That's wide receiver 51. But by targets per route run, he's the wide receiver 19. And that's how we're getting to this projection of him being like a really good back end wide receiver 2. And you've been mentioning this with BTJ, and you're probably right. It probably will mostly be BTJ getting the design targets. But I mean, Travis Hunter was like one of the best players in college football off screens last year. Like he's absolutely going to be a huge part of that, especially if he runs the plurality of his routes, higher share of his routes in the slot. All right, I got 2 guys in the queue real quick. Pollard or Downs here. I think Pollard.
Yeah, let's go Pollard just to not fall behind at running back.
Yeah, he's the higher priority here. Judkins has been falling like crazy. We have him ranked in like the 130s now. I mean, he could be put on the commissioner's exempt list, to be honest. Like I think that's kind of where we're trending. All right, this is where it gets a little tricky here, man. Downs gone, Mooney's gone. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, make this a little easier. We're probably not taking Hawk.
Yeah, I don't want to take Hawk. I'm like, yeah, B-Rob's fine here in best
he's
ball,
a fine
I
best ball
guess.
pick.
Yeah, it's fine.
we need a decent RB3. Yeah, Pittman, I'd question the ceiling, especially given the news that Ant is apparently healthy now. That was the other bit of news that we got today. We'll see. Anthony Richardson is supposedly, allegedly healthy. His shoulder might just be like screwed, like long term. He could just have structural damage that might never get back to normal. But there was a report from Stephen Holder, who's a great Colts beat reporter, this afternoon, basically saying that they're fully expecting him to be full go for camp. It'll be a QB competition. We are still projecting Daniel Jones to start more games. But as we've been saying all offseason, it's just two totally different offenses. Really doesn't boost anybody in the passing game. It actually hurts everybody in the passing game if it is Ant for the majority of the season, and vice versa if it's Daniel Jones. It's one of those things, man. We're just going to have to see in camp. And I think that's kind of where we're headed right now. Still leaning towards DJ as the starter. All right, so Addison goes 77 here. That is a hell of a value to this guy, Tony Hurd here, picking 5th. And you got Addison. What is his wide receiver 5? Yeah, that's nice.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't even have minded. I wouldn't have minded taking him over Godwin, honestly. But I'm probably on an island there.
Yeah, no, he's still Godwin projects over him now, pretty solidly. But he would have been the second guy on the queue. I'm still taking him. I know you're very bullish on Juwan Jennings, and honestly, you've kind of sold me on Jennings. I've been bumping him up in my ranks just solely based on your takes and kind of your logic around it. It makes a ton of sense, but now we got this holdout on him. He's a great value. If this is where he's going to start going at 72, the 49ers have the second most cap space. Like Jennings is just trying to get himself a little bit of a bag. Their real problems with their cap start next year when Purdy's numbers start getting a little crazy. Ayuk's numbers start really kicking in. Bosa numbers too. So, they have the space to do it now. I'm not too concerned about this being like a prolonged holdout. And I don't know how you feel, Ryan. Where are they trading Juwan Jennings right now? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What team is giving up capital and paying him?
Yeah, I don't think he gets traded. The risk is like Shanahan takes revenge or whatever, like he kind of did with Ayuk, but I just don't think it's that likely or that it's going to end up as that big of a deal. Probably gets thrown like a small bone with like a few like additional incentives or a little bit more guarantees or something. But I do want to get to Michael Quenzel's super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Nice. In Underdog Baseball drafts, in what rounds do you start taking tight ends if you don't take Bowers, McBride, or Kittle? Give me 3 guys past round 12. My spot where I start taking tight ends is right where like David Njoku goes, which I think that's like round 10-ish, 10, 11, something like that. To me, that's the sweet spot is like David Njoku, Colston Loveland, Tucker Kraft, kind of in that pocket. Those are 3 names. Some guys later, Hunter Henry is a name I'm clicking a lot. And then just like the super late guys, the Theo Johnsons, the Terrence Fergusons, etc. Anything to add, Graham?
Yeah, you and I have been on Njoku quite a bit. We can honestly take him right here if we wanted to. I wanted to take Andrews, but he got sniped a little bit. Obviously, we'll push QB2. Don't have to worry about QB2. We could wait until, I don't know, Lawrence. I'd be honestly fine, like waiting even later. Shaheed to me here. Hold on, I'll answer the tight end question in a second. It's Shaheed or Njoku here. We do need a wide receiver 5.
We do.
This could be a 3.
Yeah, I think it's probably Shaheed, and then take the tight end that comes back and make it a 3 tight end team.
I wouldn't hate Bateman here. All right, well, that decision.
And he goes. Guess we're just getting no Ravens at ADP.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We could take this. Will definitely be a 3 tight end team. We'll take Isaiah Likely. I'll bump him up. We'll take him on this next turn. Tight end wise, I mean, Njoku, Colston Loveland. I'm higher than everybody on staff with Dalton Kincaid. I just think the injuries last year piled up for him. He dealt with like 3 separate injuries. All of the numbers underneath the hood still looked really good. Targets per route run, he was top 5, top 8 by separation score, top 8 by route win rate. Just seemed like he just missed on a few plays with Josh Allen. And now you're taking Kincaid around, I don't know, like brutal wide receivers. I mean, a Hollywood Brown, Quentin Johnston. We like Cedric Tillman here. And you're taking him around contingent upside guys, running back like Ray Davis, Trey Benson. There's just like no opportunity cost really at that price with Kincaid. The other guy is Hunter Henry. Love him super late. Patriots project way better this season. Man, I'm all in on May, and my favorite stacking partner for sure with Henry, with May is Henry. I just think he's got a lot of touchdown upside. I'm chasing touchdowns with these three tight end builds. And then super late, I know. Look, it's the Jets. They're going to be really run heavy, but Mason Taylor is an awesome prospect and probably the number 2 target on the team. And there's no buzz on him. He's going after some guys that might be a little dusty, and Zach Ertz and Kate Otten. I think there's a little bit of upside with him at that price. Ryan, you and I were talking about Darren Waller in the last show. It looks like his ADP is going to like stagnate around here, and I think he's actually fine at 190. Like he's absolutely fine attached.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Stacks.
Yeah. I just even like I'm like the anti-Kincaid guy. I'm the Dalton Kincaid hater, but I will concede that in best ball it's cheap enough that it's fine. Like that's just saying like, oh, he's gonna score 6 touchdowns, and you're like pretty happy with that pick if that happens. So I think it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if we get 30 yards per game and a handful of touchdowns, like you're saying, like any tight end in that range, like is probably a little bit of a winner at ADP, just given the where scoring's at that position. Yeah, Michael, I see your question, or not really question, your comment about Shaheed. Like, I actually think he might be a better receiver than Chris Olave. You look at their last 18 games. Shaheed's at 10 underdog points per game. Olave is at 10.6, and Olave has 44 more targets in those 18 games. Just 0.6 of difference between those two. Shaheed's been more efficient by yards per route run, fantasy points per route run. And Shaheed actually had more targets than Olave last year in their games together, 34-27. This is a smash pick right here if we get Loveland.
Yes.
The only question we have here. Okay, the only question we have here is, do we want to take Lawrence with?
So I think I'd rather click Loveland and then click Lawrence if we can click Lawrence on this turn. And then I don't know if Brenton Strange's ADP is late enough to also add him to the Jaguars here, but that would be potentially interesting too.
All right, we'll take I'm with you. I think Lawrence is more important for this team than likely because we can just be done it. I was about to say we could be done at quarterback, but that's fine. Could look at if Tua gets way past ADP. Quarterbacks have gone crazy in this room, so I don't think that's going to happen. All right, we'll take Likely here. That's fine.
Yeah. There's a lot of drafts like that where all the quarterbacks just fly off in that.
Yeah, and it's like I've been saying all offseason, it's an opportunity cost thing. Like all of these quarterbacks just project and feel so much better. Like get your stacks done early. They just feel so much better than taking potentially one-eye Najee Harris or Ramondre Stevenson, who's just like a contingent running back now at this point. Bashal Tutin's obviously been our guy. He is really slid because there's been no buzz on him, but that will change during training camp. I think his ADP will definitely start to come up. But that's the thing is like you're just a quarterback this year. Like there's a really nice pocket from like QB 10 to QB 22-ish that all project relatively similarly. The only one that's truly a value still to me is Stafford. I think Stafford is just like way too underpriced. But yeah, it's a really good year to kind of wait on quarterback. Obviously, we didn't do that here. Lamar and these quarterbacks at this back half of the third round is really nice, though. Like, really, really nice. I like this quite a bit when running back pool drives up. No Devontae Adams. He went at 25 here. You and I have been kind of poo-pooing Garrett Wilson a little bit in his upside in this run-heavy Jets offense. It's a great pocket. Back half, like basically taking a third-round quarterback in Best Ball Mania by the advance rate numbers, by the playoff numbers, has been massively, massively plus EV in each of the last 5 years. And Allen, Jackson, Jaden Daniels, all those guys give you access to 30-point ceilings. And pretty much none of the receivers in that pocket do. Maybe Mike Evans, maybe Tet, but it's just it's a nice pocket to be drafting those elite quarterbacks for sure.
Yeah, I just really think receiver falls off after Devontae Adams is kind of how I view it. So yeah, in that late third, it's just I'm getting the elite quarterbacks more than I would in typical years.
Yes, I agree. And that's kind of like, again, the early round tight ends have just not been very good for fantasy. Like in terms of your advance rate, definitely give you playoff leverage. Like Kelsey, after his big year in 22, where he finishes the wide receiver, or excuse me, the tight end one by like a huge margin. It was like 3 or 4 points per game. He was still the tight end one the following year, but it was only by like 1/10 of a point. You know what I mean? So, we could take.
I mean, we have Pollard. We could do Cam Ward on the next.
I thought about that too.
Or on this turn, doesn't really matter. But
I don't mind
Algier works. Too. Yeah, that's good contingent guy.
Let's do that.
I think Algier is probably like one of the better just like handcuffs to draft. There's really nothing like at RB3. We've seen Algier like be an actually efficient runner too. So it's he's pretty good here, I think.
I think he's a great pick in best ball right now. I mean, if we're taking Zach Charbonnet and Ray Davis, Trey Benson, all those guys in the 130s, there's no reason that Tyler Algier should be going in the 150s. Just straight up based on price. They cut Jace McClellan too. I mean, they did not use a third running back last year, and I mean, like if Bijan gets hurt, God forbid Bijan gets hurt, but if he does get hurt, I mean, it should all be Algier. This could be a 5 running back team. I feel okay with Achane, Pollard, B-Rob, Tracy. I took Tracy with Neighbors, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's okay. We could add a 6th. We can see how we feel at receiver. But yeah, Ward here makes sense as the season-long correlated bet with Pollard.
Oh, and we have a disgusting Saints Titans stack.
Oh, yeah.
I say it's disgusting. I actually kind of think that game has some sneaky upside because both these defenses are going to be so bad. Like Titans and Saints could arguably be the two worst defenses in the league this year.
Yeah, bad defenses, like 2 play callers that kind of want to be fast. Well, Moore really wants to be fast. Callahan maybe doesn't. It's kind of varied, but we know Callahan wants to throw if his quarterback is any good at all. 2 rookies that could surprise us. Like, I don't think it's actually that bad. We could be looking at those offenses as like the gross, but like fantasy friendly teams by the end of this year. Yeah. Cause like you said, the defenses suck.
It's just Saints. Like Tyler Shook could surprise everybody and be really good, but I mean, they have the worst quarterback group in the NFL. That's my concern about this game. I actually think Cam Ward might be good, like legit good. Definitely has the personality and that kind of like FU confidence, which I love in a quarterback. Really good playmaker, obviously outside of structure. So Callahan's got to coach him up. But Cam Ward is going to be. I'm not breaking news. He's going to be way better than Will Levis for sure, and that's part of the reason that's part of the reason we're pretty bullish on all these Titans guys, especially their backfield. Like if Ward is good, it's just going to increase the touchdown equity for their running backs for sure.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's pretty much the whole argument. All the Titans are priced like Will Levis is starting again, pretty much. And like, I'm still not, I still can't do Calvin Ridley in a tournament with hundreds of thousands of entries. I still can't go quite that far, but yeah, everybody else there is I think at least interesting, if not like an active target for me at ADP.
I'm with you. I just the likelihood that Travis Hunter finishes a top 12 fantasy wide receiver this season is significantly higher than Calvin Ridley's chances, in my opinion. Even like you said, Callahan wants to lean pass heavy. Like, he's still got two good backs. I think they're going to be pretty balanced overall. I mean, Ridley's 31, and he's had one season where he was a top 12 fantasy receiver, and that was Falcons 2018, I think 2019 is like end of Julio run. I think Julio might have gotten hurt that year too. I'm with you. Stafford is the best value in this kind of quarterback heavy room. 175. That is a nice pick right there. This Jay Spence fella.
Yeah, no, that's
did not get him with Puka or Adams, but that's a nice pick.
Yeah, still very.
All right, we're back up here, my friend. You could take my guy here. He's okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
We can make it a sixth running back with Shipley, or it doesn't really.
I don't know if it moves the needle a whole lot here. Just wanted to get a decent third tight end. Two rookies and likely. All right, so we're done at here and here. Yeah, let's do a 2-6-7-3. I think that this team makes a ton of sense for that.
Yep.
I will take my boy Iomanor last, or maybe 17th round just to get him. So we'll take Shipley here, and then one more receiver. Or do we want Nuke?
Oh, we could do Nuke.
I like Nuke.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Let's do it.
Let's do Nuke. All right. Nice. Oh boy, we could. You know what I just thought about? We could do one of these for a little back stack, a little game stack. Action.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
We do need a seventh receiver.
I'd probably go Wicks over Lloyd on this team, honestly. If we're just doing it for the stack, like I'd rather buy into the passing game in that matchup than
I agree
the run game.
Yeah,
as you pointed out, actually in your best ball draft plan article that everyone should go read.
Yeah, thanks, man. The Ravens run defense was awesome last year, like really, really good, and they might be even better this year. That Ravens defense is going to be vaunted. So if you're buying into like kind of how you've been saying this offseason, the Jordan Love Packers pass game, like they're going to have to throw more, kind of lean into that in that matchup specifically. I think it makes a ton of sense. Just Ravens are probably going to be pound for pound. I think the Ravens might be the best defense in the NFL this year. It's going to be them or the Eagles. And we see every single year, the top defense by all the metrics regress every single year. It's going to happen for the Eagles too. They have lost some of their pass rush. Obviously, they're going to have to, kind of replace it with some veterans. But yeah, Ravens defense is going to be awesome this year. How concerned are you? Lamar is definitely a touchdown regression candidate. He had like a 8% crazy touchdown rate, but he's still a player with a 7% career touchdown passing rate. How much are you baking in regression with Lamar? Because I'm with you. I think if we weren't, Lamar probably should be going in like the 29-30 range as opposed to where he is now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I am baking it in to some extent, and that's part of why I prefer like Daniels or Hurts with how Lady's going if I'm like picking from the hyper elite quarterback mobile tier. But yeah, I mean, as you've said, Lamar's touchdown rate has always been really good. It's because it's kind of gives defenses a really hard job to have to cover everything with Lamar's legs, with Derrick Henry standing next to him in the backfield now. Like there's a lot to worry about there. Makes sense. He's going to have a high touchdown rate. It won't be 8% again, but yeah, could it be well above league average is like 4.5%. I would almost just like lock in 6% for Lamar. So yeah, I mean, kind of either way, you are at least okay with him.
Yeah. All right. What we could do a full team stack with Keaton or Marshawn. I think Marshawn probably has a little more contingent upside.
Yeah, let's do Marshawn.
All right, and we'll
I
take.
guess he's technically kind of part of the passing game too, more so than like the inside grinder type of back. But
yeah, I struggle. I struggle with like Ray Davis at 130 because Ty Johnson, like if James Cook gets hurt, Ty Johnson's going to play on passing downs, like probably 25-30%. That's enough to ding Ray Davis's like bell cow upside. And Lloyd has the same thing with Emmanuel Wilson, where if Jacobs gets hurt, we'll probably see Wilson play someone passing downs, but he's free. We just got him at 202, so I don't really care too much about that. Oh boy, is this really going to be a Dontavian Wicks team? I think I have to take Io Manor instead.
I won't be upset with either pick.
We'll take Io Manor. All right, fun little team. It's a little weaker at running back than what we typically do, but we got some nice contingent upside with Algier for sure. I'm with you on that. 150 is very, very nice for him. Very nice. I think this team really comes down to like Godwin's health to me, because like Hunter is definitely a back half of the season play for sure. So Godwin is kind of a linchpin a little bit to this team. I mean,
here's the thing, like Chris Godwin versus Jordan Addison games played. Who are you taking? I don't think it's like obviously Godwin.
I think it is. I would be pretty surprised if he's not out there week 1.
Okay.
Just based on like what the team has said, like I know Bowles was kind of like, we'll see, like maybe just trying to like, I don't know, not gas up Bucs fans too much, but Mark Andrews had a similar injury later in the year as Godwin, and he was out there week 1, and he had a motorcycle accident. So I think I would be pretty surprised if Godwin's not playing week 1. Not full blown Godwin, but
yeah, I'd be surprised if he's at like a full-time route share in week 1. I guess I would say, which is like, what I don't know, what's the point if he's not? I guess is kind of, I don't know. Is it that different if Godwin is like 50% of himself for 3 games versus Addison just not playing for 3 games? Like, is Godwin making your lineup in that time?
No, that's a good point.
As likely. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a fair point. Yeah, he could. I guess I'm just seeing like maybe 65% route share to start the season. He gets the red zone, third down stuff. I think we'll see Godwin week 1, probably not in a full-time role. All right, let's rip a Puppy 2 draft here. Change it up. I like the advancement rate structure that Puppy always has. As you noticed with BBM, always be aware of contest selection, but it's significantly lower. Like if you max out the Puppy, you have like basically double your expectation in certain terms of getting a team to the final. So if you 150 max the Puppy, it is easier to get teams into the playoffs. Almost a snap fill. So if you're waiting, want to hang out, we need 1 in this lobby. If you're in the YouTube chat, hanging with us on Twitter and Discord, appreciate you all. Want to draft against us? Hop in here. 1 person. Going, gone. It's interesting. Index of suspicion, like bringing up the point about the dislocation of ankle. Like he might have needed the same surgery as Andrews. I'm pretty sure Andrews also had some, ankle problem as well with his injury. I mean, he went full on fracture too. It's a similar type injury. I have Edwin looking into this, but it very well could be Egbuka season to start the year. Like he's really good. I think he can play on the outside too. Nicholas, I see your question here, my friend. Thoughts on Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt? Ryan and I were talking about this last week with Austin Eckler. Like, what do you win if you draft Austin Eckler? Like, what's right with him? And it's kind of the corollary here. Like, he probably just stays in the same role, and it is Krosky Merritt, or maybe Jeremy McNichols again, getting the early down work. I still think he's a little thin as a late round flyer. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, no, I pretty much agree entirely with what you just said. Godwin did not have tightrope surgery, which is what Andrews had. But it's I don't know. putting screws and plates in his fibula fracture. None of it. It doesn't sound great, but it is not tightrope surgery. It's not what Mark Andrews and what Tony Pollard had.
Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, I think Kupp had that too. I think Kupp had the tightrope surgery, if I'm not mistaken, too, after his first really bad high ankle sprain. So, yeah, good call. Just a full dislocation. Then, in which case, maybe I was thinking that it was similar because Andrews had some nerve damage. I'm sure Godwin has nerve damage for sure. Like,
oh yeah, I watched that play. I feel like Godwin has nerve.
Oh.
Not a doctor, but I can't imagine. Yeah. Oh.
Bro, I legit turned that game off because it was over. Like, it was just garbage time. I turned it off, and then he got hurt. Brett texted me. He's like, bro, did you see the Godwin injury? I was like, no. No. Turned it back on, and he's laying on the turf, man. Just brutal. But, hey, listen, I mean, Godwin has never finished worse than wide receiver 38 by points per game, and he's going exactly as the wide receiver 38. And I mean, all of this is baked in. Him missing time, to your point, maybe he does, miss the first game or two. All right, we got pick 11, so we are going to be, I don't want to draft virtually the same team, but we're in the same spot. Neighbors goes, I like JNT over Amon-Ra, like quite a bit. Or do you want to take
Sure.
BTJ?
Let's do a Genty team and make it different instead of doing wide receiver plus Achane again.
Yeah. Dude, I like JNT and Achane too. And then you're just like, you could lean into a 4 running back build. Nope, not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get one of Amon-Ra or BTJ anyway, which is
more than fine.
Pretty nice. Yeah.
More than fine. I like BTJ over Amon-Ra.
I do as well.
Let's do it. Yeah, Amon-Ra, it's not like that he's not scaring me. I think he's a perfectly fine pick in this range. It's just question the upside now with JMO and Laporta fully healthy. When I was writing up my underdog draft guide, the Lions are implied to score 8 fewer points per game this season. And if you just go and say, hey, the look headlines are directionally accurate, let's say they do lose a touchdown per game. That's Goff losing 6-7 passing touchdowns this year, which will have a trickle-down effect to all these guys. And then you mix in the fact that JMO's JMO now, looking like the same guy that, was drafted out of Alabama, and Laporta's fully healthy, not, missing time due to an injury. Yeah, man. BTJ looks like Julio reincarnated. It really just comes down to T-Law.
Yeah, man. I'm my angle with the Lions is the touchdown regression we're just expecting. I think it's still fine where Amon-Ra's going. I may feel differently if you ask me a week from now. I'm planning to really dig into motion and shift rates and play action stuff among different play callers. Detroit led the league in both of those pretty much last year or very close to it. I'm not sure what I'll be able to find on John Morton and his tendencies there. I don't think it's going to be wholly different, but I could foresee a scenario where I have a doomsday take on Amon-Ra just based on that once I really have a chance to dig in. But yeah, next article, by the way, probably play callers unless it's a Travis Hunter think piece, which is possible. We're juggling a couple ideas right now.
Nice. Yeah. I'll look forward to the play callers article. I need to get with you on that because I had a coaching article breakdown. I don't want to step on each other's toes, so I'll message you after that, and we'll.
Oh yeah, let's figure that out then for sure. Scott told me to do this, so we can. Right. But yeah, we can figure this out.
Yeah, no, I'm very interested to see what you're coming up with right now. All right, so Rice goes 24 here. Man, I love Rashee Rice, but knowing what we know now, that there is a looming at bare minimum. If he does get just 2 to 3 games, then yeah, he probably should be going around 24, 25 still, just because the upside with him is just ridiculous, especially in the best ball format. Like we've been saying with Addison, you can overcome those missed games. But if he, there's a world here for sure, where he gets the 4 to 5, that's bullish, very bullish.
Yeah. Yeah, he should not be going at the 2-3 turn right now.
No.
I am happy to say that.
But he should be going around here at the 3-4 turn. All right, same spot. The receivers just died. We could mix it up and take a Jaden Daniels team if you wanted to.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's do Daniels and like pray that Hampton comes back on the turn, maybe.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I wouldn't mind JSN again, honestly.
Yeah, also yeah, we're gonna get
or
something
Evans.
good here at receiver. Either way, yeah.
Yeah, this is where I like mixing it up. Once I'm not super into McLaurin, but if he were to fall here, you would take McLaurin here and then try to send through Daniels. That's the way I would have played it. But I mean, I like Kyron Williams a little bit, probably a little bit more than you. All right, real quick, do you want to do Evans or Hampton?
I'm Hampton over Evans at this point.
Okay.
We will have to get careful at receiver here, but I think we can pull it home because this is an exciting and fun build to me. Like we haven't even talked about Najee. That's like I can't believe we haven't talked about Najee, like the story that we've been consumed with for a week that just like has been pushed off with everything else today now.
Yeah, I think that's why. It's just with the Rice news today and the Addison news, Richardson news. So the moment this happened, like the moment that it was actually confirmed that the Reddit rumors were true, that Najee actually did hurt his eye, like all of the reporting on this has been just weird. It's just like the Chargers beat writers don't know anything. And then yesterday the GM came out and said, yeah, our team doctors haven't even looked at him yet. And it's like, that's kind of weird. Like, you just signed this guy. Like, it's the first day of training camp. Like, I don't know, man. Eyes they're fragile places, and him having to get treatment 2 weeks later in Stanford just kind of screams to me that it could be a little bit of a long-term issue. Like I'm not saying this tongue in cheek. He still has an eye. I would be stunned if it were like a truly like devastating problem like that. But I mean, he absolutely could have some long-term problems, and I mean that's just super bullish for Hampton. Super bullish. He's going to be able to start training camp with the ones too.
Exactly. Yeah. If Najee were to miss like week 1 or the start of the season or whatever, I would very happily draft Hampton in round 2, like probably right after Achane goes off the board. It's like a round where he would fall for me, like in that counterfactual. I think he's just a smash at the 3-4 turn right now. Like just given that, as you said, he's starting training camp with the ones, he's going to take all of those reps. Like so much of veteran deference is just like doing the thing. It's about momentum, really, right? It's veteran gets the first crack, and it's kind of what the coach gets comfortable with and what works until the rookie gives him a reason to change things. Now Hampton doesn't really need to give him a reason to change things. If Hampton just gets in there and is good, then I don't know that many changes are going to need to be made if Najee shows up, whatever, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks into training camp.
Yeah. No,
we have to click wide receiver here, unfortunately, yeah. I think.
Yeah. I would want Addison or Jennings.
Yeah, we can go Jennings.
Let's go Jennings. And honestly, man, I want Debo. This is like, we'd be Same. 8 picks ahead ADP, but like, let's make a bet on Commanders here.
Would I click Debo over Addison here? Like
for this team, it's for stacking wise, like it is
you're right. We probably should.
Well, no, I mean it is a puppy, so it's not like as hard to advance in the playoff rounds. Yeah. Man, I kind of want it. We need early season production. Let's go Debo.
Yeah. That's if we had like 3 receivers on the team already, I would be like pounding the table for Addison probably. But yeah, that is kind of what changes it for me.
Yeah, we need some early season production here. And honestly, after seeing that last draft, I mean, Addison went at 78. He could slide back to us at 83. We'll see. Yeah. Honestly, dude, I think I'd take Addison, or not Addison. Excuse me. We're talking Hampton. I'm taking Hampton over Brees all day. Definitely taking him over Kyron. I don't think I can take him over Chase Brown. So to me, I would be taking him as early as 31 or 32. Like that's if you're not like sold on Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Jaden Daniels having like this elite season, you're not sold on Mike Evans like being able to keep up doing what he's doing at 32. Maybe you're not sold on Bryce Young and Ted. That's all fine. Like I'm sold on Amari and Hampton being an awesome prospect. And Chargers, going back to our kind of like base projection last year, the Chargers, leaning run heavy, like that's where I'm at. I think they're going to be a pretty balanced team. They were a little higher by P-Row last year, not necessarily, I think, because they wanted to. It's just because their running game was not that good.
Yeah. No, Hampton Breece is like close for me. I'm Hampton over Kyron, but I'm the Kyron hater. Even if I think the reasons that most people hate Kyron are bad, I'm still a Kyron hater. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm not quite as high as you maybe, but yeah, he probably like 35, 36 is like where I'd start getting into Hampton.
This would be a very fun dynasty build right here. JT, BTJ, James Daniels, and Amari and Hampton. That'd be pretty nice. I still think we gotta probably jam receiver here, at least one more, and then we could take Pollard again. It's like a boring guy. So Addison is gone. Where'd he go?
Okay, I like the Packers receivers here. If either
71
make it
feels a little more right for Addison. Yeah, with you, Jaden Reed. Take our boy Josh Downs, absolutely, with BTJ. I would actually rank him like. Oh, there goes Reed. I was gonna put. I actually like Downs more than Reed. Just think he has the more upside to be an actual like lead target, whereas the Packers, we all know it's gonna be relatively spread out.
Yeah. I'd consider Myers on this team.
Oh no, absolutely.
With Genty,
good point. I just haven't been clicking much Myers. I just question the upside.
Agreed, but yeah, if you want to just make a bet on the Raiders, you can do it that way, I think.
Oh, what are we thinking? Do we want B-Rob over Pollard? I think I do.
For
this team build?
It's I guess. I just hate clicking B-Rob. We're clicking B-Rob twice on this stream.
Trust me, I haven't been doing it much myself either. I've been taking usually Downs. We'll take Downs here. We just
whatever. It saves us from it. Yeah.
I mean, we'll take Downs here. I want Downs with PTJ more than I want Myers. We can still get Myers way past ADP. Or we can
for sure.
I've kind of soured on Aaron Jones just because I think Mason does get the goal line work. Kind of cancels the both of them out. Do you want to take Myers way past ADP or do you want to take Jones?
I'll take Myers here with this build.
I'm with you.
And now we've caught up at receiver.
Not only caught up, I actually
we're probably ahead now.
Yeah, these receivers look great now. Yeah. This could, honestly, this might be a team where Eckler makes some sense just to get some like early season floor. It's like
I think Eckler makes a ton of sense on this team. My favorite, I love pairing my favorite guy to pair with Hampton is like Jaylen Warren for the same purpose, and also just because I think Jaylen Warren as a player has a lot of upside. Like 2 years ago, he was like leading the NFL in missed tackles forced per touch. Like we know he's going to be the primary passing down back here. Plenty of late third round picks have not worked out at the running back position in the NFL. Like I know that Caleb Johnson is probably like a higher touted prospect than like your average third round running back, but it would not be that crazy for a pick at his slot to not work out. So yeah, I'm with you. I really like Warren this year.
I have not understood the Caleb Johnson hype at all. He's now getting hyped into the round 6. Like unless Jaylen Warren dies this season, Caleb Johnson is a pretty sketchy bet to me in round 6. Warren's still really, really good at football. Obviously, they wanted him back. He got the 1 year restricted free agent deal. And yeah, I mean it's gonna be some sort of compartmentalized split. Like I could certainly see Caleb Johnson being a workhorse, like getting a lot of the early down stuff, but Jalen Warren is just so good on passing downs. Yeah, I loved Eckler last season too, actually, for best ball. I think everybody kind of wrote him off, especially in full PPR. I am concerned about him this year. Ryan and I have both been kind of saying the same thing with Eckler, but he does make sense on this build where we only have two running backs. They're two great ones, obviously. So thinking about finishing stacks here, again, this could be another Lawrence build. He always goes in this 130 pocket. We could wait on Geno. I think that would make a ton of sense for this team. Just bet on Geno being what all the hipster bros on Twitter think he is. He's the top 6 quarterback right now.
Yeah. No, I think Geno's a perfect QB for this team.
All right, so we'll probably plan on Geno, actually. He goes at 160.
See if we're on the right turn for it. I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, perfect.
We are. Yeah, I'm cool with waiting on Geno. I would like Tyrone Tracy again, to be honest with you. Would not hate that.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
We didn't talk Kelsey. I'll bring him back up after this turn because Chris made a point in Discord that probably helps Kelsey a little bit. The Rice news,
definitely.
Yeah, it does. But at the end of the season, when it matters the most, you good with Tracy here?
Yeah, Tracy's good here.
All right. We could take Purdy. I don't love it.
Yeah, you could go another running back. I don't really love any of them, but
yeah,
Dobbins would probably be my favorite. But yeah, or we can just click Njoku. That's fine.
Let's get a decent tight end one here. I liked our Geno plan for this team. Let's talk Kelsey real quick because it definitely helps him early in the season, especially if it is the longer variety for Rice. We've just seen without Rice, they're just so much more willing to spam the crossers and the shallow stuff to Kelsey. I know you've not been as high on Kelsey as I've been, at least for best ball. Like in managed redraft leagues, I'm still kind of out on Kelsey. Just I don't see the upside late in the season, but early in the season, absolutely, definitely helps him.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. If I'm remembering correctly, the stat is that Kelsey averages 7 underdog fantasy points per game in career games with Rashee Rice over a 50% route share. So yeah, they have kind of filled very similar roles in the offense. So yeah, for any games Rice is out, that is definitely a projection boost to Kelsey. But yeah, in terms of am I going to start clicking Travis Kelsey? No. Because of what you just said, that it's at the end of the season when we really care about those spike weeks, especially at tight end, that is good. It's not it's not the case. Then Rice is going to be on the field, and unless the Chiefs are fighting hard for a playoff spot the last few weeks of the year, which I don't really foresee, then what are you getting?
I don't see them fighting for a playoff spot. They definitely could be fighting for the division. They're going to regress. They just had so many wins and one score games last year. They pulled out a Houdini act against the Broncos actually last year. Broncos defense is going to be very good this season. I don't know about as good as the Eagles and Ravens, but they are awesome. Their secondary is good. They've got a great manufactured pass rush with all their their blitz stuff that they do. That's going to be kind of a tricky game, that Chiefs-Broncos game. But if there's one place where the Broncos have been beatable, it's over the middle. So I do think Kelsey has some upside in that game. But, late season production is what matters the most, especially at tight end. And, you're going to probably be doing 3 tight end builds with Kelsey. So, definitely could even out for sure. All right, here, since we're kind of waiting on Geno, I think that's the way we'll play it. I think another running back would make sense here for sure.
Yeah. Loveland Tootin.
Yeah. There goes
Loveland's
Loveland.
gone, so Tootin.
Yeah, we'll take Tootin. Honestly, we could take a fifth running back here as well. I would not hate that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this can be a 5 running back build at least for sure. And then
yeah, I'm thinking 2, 6, 7, 3, honestly. These receivers. All right, we'll take Tootin for sure. BTJ.
Lawrence works here, honestly. Like, I'm not super attached to it. I don't really see like a better pick.
Yeah, I know, that's my thing. It's just like we're probably going to want another running back in that pocket, but it is a big, long, flat tier. I would have actually probably bumped up Jaden Blue a little bit for this team build, but whatever. Yeah, you know what? Let's go Lawrence. We'll be done. Because now we've got 2 Jags, one early round Jag pass catcher. Obviously, we'll take Lawrence. We could take, we could take Britton Strange. It's our second tight end, 150. I think we got 154, right? 155. Yeah, little Jags Colts game stack. I love that game, man. That game has a ton of upside. The last 4 meetings of Jags Colts have produced at least 50 points on the board.
Yeah, both teams' secondaries always seem to fall apart by like week 5.
Yeah, and guess what, dude?
Crazy.
Unless Travis Hunter is actually a full-time cornerback, which would help us on this team build, not so much on the last one. Yeah, this Jags secondary is going to be terrible. Colts secondary is not good either. Their pass rush, unless Letu kind of gets going, like their pass rush is not going to be very good either. That game just has a ton of upside. I think it's in the Colts dome as well. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear those sirens going off out there. Yeah, Njoku definitely is the ultimate tight end safety net, right? I probably have like 50% Njoku exposure on our streams now at this point. I would wager.
Yeah, it is wild. I was very ready to write up Njoku in Anatomy of a League Winner, but then he goes like 5 rounds higher on like every managed platform than he goes on Underdog, and I don't really know why. Like I get that it's the Browns, and we don't necessarily like want to bet on the Browns from weeks 15 to 17, but that he goes so late. He goes after so many tight ends that he sees so much more work than for years.
Yeah,
I just don't get it. And the quarterback issues have never mattered for Njoku.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And I mean, last 2 seasons, Njoku's got 20 end zone targets, I believe, or maybe 22. I mean, he's got nice touchdown upside. I guess the only thing I can think of is that maybe Underdog drafters are baking in like Harold Fannin, like kind of getting some work to close out the season. But again, he's a rookie.
Harold Fannin is never getting on the field over David Njoku in like 11 personnel.
Not this year. Yeah, never. Yeah. I still really like Eckler for this team. I'll definitely take him over Strange. And then we were both talking about Algier being underpriced.
Yep, either works here for sure. Yeah, prefer Eckler for the team, as you're saying. But yeah.
There goes Algier. And there goes Eckler. I knew that was going to happen.
Yep. We should have Algier just went. I'm like, yeah.
I'm not getting him.
You're right. You were right. We should have just reached for a running back instead of Njoku. But
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, Njoku, we could do a 2 tight end build here if we wanted to with just Strange. And do a 6 running back build. I think that would make sense. Do a 2-6-8-2 or something.
Yeah.
Because I'm not, I mean, unless you wanted to like double stack, I'll do that. How do you feel about backfield stacking in general? And then specifically with this team, I actually would not hate it.
Well, Bigsby's really cheap. So it's in this specific scenario, I don't hate it. And also just because they could have like different roles. Like there's a world where Bigsby is just like the goal line guy. And
all right, let's do it. We'll go on.
Tootin ends up getting used in the passing game in between the 20s, and they're both like big wins at ADP. That can totally happen. So yeah, I think with them specifically on like a Jag stack, it's fine. I generally stay away from it, though. I can't really think of any other team where where I would want to do that at current running back prices.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Maybe Miami. Like Miami is really the only team where it's worked. Like the Achane Mostert year 2 years ago. Like that's the only year it worked. And both were very cheap that season. Achane was really cheap, going in the hundreds. Mostert was like free. That's really the only, and most people, including myself, that year were taking Achane, great pick, with Jeff Wilson. Not so great of a pick that year. Did not work out. But I think that's the only time I can really think where it's like you've had that true, like, both guys have a high weekly floor, both have contingent upside if one misses games, and both like truly have some, ceiling weeks together. But with the Jags specifically, yeah, I think we just took 4 straight Jags. That's a little scary. But hey, all in on this Jags team stack with Josh Downs. But no, with, like you said, with Bigsby and Tootin specifically, I think it's maybe the only team that makes sense. I think the only other team I can think of is Cowboys. Like you take Jaden Blue with Miles Sanders. Like you could have some.
I do not want to take multiple Cowboys running backs.
I'm with you there too. They're probably they're going to be bottom 5 in team XFP.
I don't even want the Jags one Cowboys running back. Yeah.
Yeah, the Cowboys could be bottom 5 in XFP this year at a team level, and the Jags are not. They're not going to be that. This is going to be a good rushing offense in general, and it could have a ton of upside. So, yeah, I don't think it makes sense with any other team, man. I really don't. Like, there's not. I mean, maybe Steelers for kind of the reasons we were just saying about it being a compartmentalized split, but again, they're a team that doesn't project as well, and Caleb Johnson is getting expensive in my opinion. All right, so this will be 2682. So we'll take, we're definitely dead set on a 2682.
Are we good with 2 with Njoku and Strange? That's on the borderline to me. Okay,
it's borderline, but we can. I mean, it's like, do we really want Otten or Mason Taylor here? I like Mason Taylor on the last team.
Yeah.
Just because we didn't have Njoku. I would not mind Shipley on this team, that's for sure.
Yeah, Shipley would be great here. Then a few look at wide receivers, I guess. Pierce is good to me.
Yeah.
We have Downs, I guess, but
yeah, we have Downs. That's been my ripcord. If I don't take Downs, I love Pierce. Don't love De'Ami Brown. Just want to kind of go all in on the guys that we have here.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind Keenan.
Keenan's a good call here. Yeah, I mean we got
This will be we'll do 2683. We'll take 2 more receivers here.
Keenan could very easily just end up back on the Chargers with how things have been going for their receiving core right now, and his ADP will be 4 or 5 rounds higher.
Yes. Yeah, and he will be going in a range where we most likely will not click him. I was talking to some people, some of our subscribers in Discord, about like where if Keenan signs, where does he go? And I was like, probably like the Christian Kirk range, 130s. And then if he gets on a good team, which I still consider the Chargers to be a pretty good landing spot, like maybe a little earlier. And I will not be clicking him in that range. So if you want some Keenan Allen, you don't think he's dust, take him now. Because, Mike Williams just retired. Certainly would make a lot of sense for them just to be like, hey, we needed a veteran replacement that can come in and get snaps with Trey Harris and QJ. Keenan would make a ton of sense. I also think the Rams would make some sense. Chris and I were talking about that yesterday. Peter Schrager was kind of hinting at that on NFL Network a couple days ago, which is interesting. Keenan, just put him in the slot, 60% route share. Makes a ton of sense. He's kind of their tight end in that offense.
They always want to play 11 personnel too, and kind of don't have the. I mean, they've never really had the pieces for it, but they've always done it anyway. But
I know that's the thing. Like McVay's always punted that third receiver spot with Ben Skoranek, and it's just like he doesn't care,
But that'd be a sexy offense in week 1.
I said to Chris, I think Keenan going to the Rams would be the best for his overall fantasy value. I think Falcons would make some sense too. Just kind of a replacement boost on Ray McLeod over the middle, go all in on Penix. But all of those cases would push Keenan into the 130s. And like I said, I will be taking the quarterbacks and the tight ends and probably some of the contingent running backs over him. Dylan Sampson going at 137. Ooh, boy.
I think that's probably correct, honestly.
Really? By projections, we like Jerome Ford.
Okay.
He took
by projections.
Wow.
I don't care about Jerome Ford. That's the problem. We're playing for week 17.
Fair.
Jerome Ford is not having a bell cow workload in any variation of week 17.
Okay.
Unless Sampson is terrible. That if you think Sampson's terrible, fine. But I would just so much rather take the rookie and say, well, if Judkins ends up on the exempt list, he's not playing. It's likely opening as some sort of committee with Sampson and Ford. There are worse bets than a day 3 running back that late with a team that has nothing else really that we care about. I don't know. Maybe Jake Tribby will yell at me for being too down on Jerome Ford, probably since he Bearcat, but that's Jerome Ford. I was not that interested in talking about the Browns backfield at all before this, but I think there's even if Judkins is gone for 6 games and Sampson looks good, I think Sampson keeps a role. That's pretty interesting to me if we're at Trey Benson or Tyler Algier ADPs.
Yeah, I guess my whole thing with Judkins was I thought he was going to be a full-on bell cow, and in a bad offense that's valuable, but I don't see Sampson as a full-on bell cow. I see Ford having some sort of role. And to your point, Ford probably isn't that great of a pick in terms of upside, but he has a decent floor. We'll take Elick Iomanor here too. I threw Luke McCaffrey in here. What the hell?
Wait, what?
It just took Daniel Jones.
Did that just skip? Did I just miss that timer?
No, it just it just took the guy from the top of the.
It's kind of messed up.
What the hell? Hey, well, okay. At least it's a guy that we stacked him with.
We got the cult stack, but we're in a Jaden Daniels 3 QB build now, which is not ideal, but.
Oh my goodness, I've never seen that before. That is bizarre. Yeah, we had 2 guys at the top of the queue. Huh. I'm gonna have to. I might message somebody at Underdog about that. I'm not gonna.
Odd.
Yeah, that is odd. I've never seen that before. That might be a glitch in their system. It always takes the guy at the top of the queue. Weird. Okay, well at least it's not a totally dead pick. I would have
make sure you click draft player on it this time instead of just waiting for the queue. If the queue is just
that was my. We were just talking and I wasn't even thinking. That was my bad. Well, I mean, still a good team.
Yeah, no, the team is still fine. This will survive with 7 receivers.
Tilting. Damn it!
But
that's never happened to me before. It always takes the guy at the top of the queue. Well, I did get Darius Slayton to pair with Tyrone Tracy. If we care about a little Giants correlation, we did just do the 2 tight end build, so we need that sexy Njoku volume to come back. The reason I stuck with the 2 tight end is because we kind of did just jump ADP significantly on Njoku, so I think it worked out. But the Daniel Jones auto, what the hell is going on there? Fun team. I wanted to see. Okay, so Addison went 71. Where did Worthy go? I didn't note that. 45, man. Okay. If you want some Xavier Worthy, I would go draft right now because this is going to be 34 to 36, I think, right?
That's pretty much where he was when in
everything
May.
opened.
So yeah.
He ironically will probably go right back to the same open prices where Worthy was 36, 37. Rice is probably a little bit after that.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I regretted not getting more Rice there. So I will probably make that I will probably make that a point to get some Rice at that turn. These 2 drafts, he has not gone at that turn. I don't know what everyone's doing here.
Yeah.
Still taking Rice at the 2-3, but
Rice. Maybe both of those guys just haven't checked Twitter today. I'm not entirely sure, but Rice at 24 is wild. yeah, listen, and we're not totally dead here. Index of suspensions, right? Like, we're not totally dead with the Daniels 3 quarterback. Ideally, no, you don't want to take Lamar or Allen or Daniels and have a 3 QB build. But last 3 seasons, 3 QB teams have absolutely smashed in terms of their advance rate. And it worked out in our favor because we actually have a 2-way Week 17 game stack. So no, it was not the worst thing ever that could have happened. We've got 5 very good receivers. It's not like we absolutely had to have an 8th receiver, but still, what the hell? All right, Ryan, great show. Next week, we're going to have our guy, Neil Orfield, join us. And from then on, we will have a bunch of guests be joining us every single week at 2 o'clock Eastern for Best Ball Breakdown. Underdog has been drafting contests left and right. If you're a Superflex bro like myself, I've been enjoying the Superflex contest quite a bit this year, just building those teams, kind of using a different part of my brain. They did just drop a really sick new Superflex contest I wanted to shout out. It's the German, but Superflex, small field, just 22,000 entries. So it's like significantly smaller than Puppy, BBM. If you want to draft those teams, we have rankings that were just updated. With the Addison and Rice news, we'll probably give a little bit of a bump to Anthony Richardson as well, given that he is full go for training camp. But again, if you want to draft Superflex teams, have not deposited yet on Underdog, use code FANTASYPTS. Get yourself a $5 standard subscription along with that nice deposit bonus from Underdog. Ryan, great stuff, man. Everybody, if you haven't already, check out Ryan's Anatomy of League Winner article. Check out my Underdog Draft Guide article. Both will be included in your $5 standard subscription. And we will see you guys at the top of leaderboards. Good luck in your drafts.
What? Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome.